Welcome to another exciting round of Sunday Night Blood Bowl. It's the 6th week of the Season 3 Majors, and these two teams are gunning for a spot in the playoffs. It's the elves blessed by the gods themselves versus the vicious ladies from hell. Tonight on Sunday Night Blood Bowl.
Hello everybody and welcome to Dodge City, because this week we've got Amazons and Elven Union.
Yay!
Yay! Gonna be nothing but people not falling over and people running around each other. Except Ayli's playing, which means Ayli's gonna try to beat people up.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of the point of the team.
I'm just spam clicking. I'm just spam clicking, searching, waiting for it to pop up.
They'll tell us. They'll tell us. They'll tell us.
I'm looking over his team to see if there's anything I'm particularly scared of. Okay, Hercules is
Well, I'm
annoying.
scared of not starting the thing, and Adam having the coronavirus.
I don't.
Oh no, there's a wizard. There's a wizard.
Right.
It's
There's
a
a
Bloodweiser
wizard?
babes. Wizard and two Bloodweiser babes out of
Smite game.
Smite. Yes.
I figured. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's not. Wizard's pretty good.
Actually, I can just pull up your teams while we're waiting.
Let's do it.
Is Smite game one word?
No,
No.
it is
Okay,
two,
go
but
ahead.
we haven't even gotten past the loading screen.
Loading it up now.
Okay.
The Atheltic Plastic, the misspelled level 4 thrower with 4 strength.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Cover your mouth, dude.
I am.
Oh,
I'm sorry that my
I'm
mic is right next to it, no matter how much I cover.
that's really unfortunate.
Like, I have a headset. I don't have a somewhere buried in my things is a standing mic, but I haven't pulled it out in months.
New plan. That thing that on your mic that twists, just bend that really far away.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
When, no, when you cough, not now. Now I can't hear you. That is better though. Yes,
Right.
I heard. Okay, that cough was better. Yes.
He sounds like he's 2 rooms away.
Maybe he's calling from.
Well, because what's happening
That's
is
the
not only am I moving.
We're gonna have to censor parts of this.
Because what's happening is not only am I moving the mic, right, but it's being pushed up into such a position that there is plastic and foam between my mouth and the microphone. So
Yeah, it makes
It's
it
really-
makes it sound like you're yelling to us from the other
We
room.
are setting up teams now. I am receiving the ball.
All right, that means that we are able to load the game up.
insert Dylan broadcast here.
Welcome to another exciting round of
That already happened. That happened to the beginning. All right, Smite game and MeanGirls. All right, we're gonna head on up to the booth, and we'll see you at halftime.
Let's
I
go.
see them, but
Thanks for having me for this one.
Thank you for being here. Hopefully we'll get deaf.
I just got back from a nice dinner with my dad. So,
Oh, that sounds nice. Well, Jeff.
fish tacos. And he had, I think he had nachos. So
All sounds really good.
we were at the Appalachian Brewery. Yeah, not the one in Harrisburg that you picked me up at one time. They have one in Mechanicsburg as well.
Oh, that's nice. Very convenient.
Yeah.
All right, I'm guessing that I believe MeanGirls are receiving the ball. We barely missed. Yeah, MeanGirls are receiving the ball. Skip to Mott.
Ooh,
Why is it that-
Hercules is a nice little character.
Now, Hercules is scary. Is what Hercules is.
Well, it's always interesting to me when somebody takes a stat damage in one attribute and
And a stat
gets
up
a
in
stat
another.
up in something else.
Yeah,
Because it fundamentally changes how you think about that.
that exact
role.
player.
Yeah.
It's basically he's basically turned into a Saurus with more agility at this point.
Yeah. He is now equivalent to like a 2 stat up Saurus? Sorry, no. Sorry, a 1 stat up Saurus. I think. Actually, I don't. No, actually, I think it is the Saurus.
I also
actually
want
can't
to point
remember
out
Saurus's agility is.
The
I play Lizardmen, but I use agility on Sauruses never, so I don't really keep track of what the value is.
It's I think it's a 1 on Saurus. So,
Like that one on Lemisukas, where he got a stat down and it literally didn't matter.
I think that was actually the OG Komodo back from like the first game we played.
Was that OG Komodo?
It was OG Komodo. I
OG
broke his neck in the first game, but it didn't do anything.
But it didn't matter. It was like
All right,
it's
extra.
a 1.
extra reroll and a catch for MeanGirls, and
very nice, very nice.
all of Alex's players are right up on the line where they can get punched. This is why you. This is why you don't position
agility up as well. So that's pretty big.
Yeah, this is why you don't. Yeah, that is agility up. This is why you don't put you don't put a lot of like. So if you know that your your opponent's getting the ball, you don't want to set up this many players up on the line because you're giving a lot of free blocks. Even if you have good strength and good armor, you want to avoid letting your opponent take free hits on you, unless you're like if you're playing like Undead, and you have a lot of guard and you know your front line is very hard to break, then you might get away with it, or like your Sauruses might get away with it because there's so much strength in your line. But for most teams, you want to limit the number of people you have on the front line, and you want to try and keep your other players back so that they don't have to deal with getting blitzed right out the gate. And this is something that all of us have had to learn.
So in my case, I'm aware that you're supposed to hold back, but also you'll find that a lot of the players I go up against when I put a skink on the two wings, they won't actually challenge me on it.
So far, yes, they haven't challenged you on it, but we called you out on that a lot in the last broadcast, so I think you're gonna find it happening more. I know I tried it. I tried it on you, and I rolled poorly. I got really mad about it.
And once it starts happening more, I'll stop doing it. But as long as people are gonna let me get away with it, I'll posture boldly.
That's fair. That's fair.
I have the people in the wings.
The problem is now we're so this is the second to last game before the finals. Or before the playoffs. And in the playoffs, like, I'm guaranteed in, and I know you beat me, but I still am going to punish you for doing that.
Oh, no, I fully expect you to punish me. What I don't expect is if Dylan makes it in for him to punish me.
Dylan probably won't. Ayli will. Ayli will punish you up and down the pitch.
But the thing is, you call me out on it when I play against Dylan. Yeah. And I know that Dylan won't punish me on it, which is why I do it against Dylan. Now, I am going to be better about doing it against the rest of you guys, because you're being more aware of it now.
Yeah. No, that's entirely fair.
Punishing me.
That's entirely fair. Play around the people you're dealing with. Oh, I forgot to unmute David.
Welcome to me, a couple of weeks ago. By the way, I've watched the two broadcasts. Okay, I watched the first broadcast that I was part of this season, in terms of the ones that you were recording my team for.
Yep.
And laughed my ass off. And the second one, I was so tired, I fell asleep like halfway through. But I enjoyed what I watched, so I do like the shift to being a little bit more like joking around. It feels better.
This feels right. Unfortunately, it looks like there's going to be a really bad blitz coming in from Mercury. I can understand that why you'd want to make a blitz and do something about that line woman, but you're making a blitz with someone who doesn't have block against someone who has block, and it's a one-die blitz. And in that instance, when you roll that that push, I think you keep that push. Also, in addition to that, he does have the wizard. So if he focused a lot more on moving his other players around, because he didn't do anything with most of his players. If you focus on moving the players around,
how he does this, because
you focus on moving the players around, and then maybe do something.
It's a very obvious direction to send it to go after Cahollin, and it's with Riesling. Wait. Oh, okay. All right.
With Iceling, I think frankly the better place to go after Sun Wukong.
Is that an A? Okay, I thought that was supposed to be an R.
No, that's an A.
I thought he was making a joke about wine moms. My mistake. Sorry, I thought she was making a joke about wine moms. My mistake.
Okay. No, that's I believe it's pronounced Dashling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like Riesling is a type of white wine, so.
Okay. Yeah, that's something I would not.
Granted,
it
has an E. It has an E after the I, but you know.
Yeah.
It's otherwise identical.
How long until you make a team where all of the players are named after alcohol?
At least season 3.
Oh, I thought you were going to say right after we get off this broadcast.
No, because I don't really play Blood Bowl except when I'm playing with you guys. The exception was when I grinded 3 seasons. Like, I'm probably going to finish playing through I will likely between series, because I imagine us taking a short break between the end of season 6 and the beginning of season 7.
Even probably just
like,
2 weeks again, because we're trying to get this all done.
Well, we got a 3-week campaign. We got a 3-week playoff game set up for the All-Star Cup.
Oh right, we have the All-Star Cup.
Because we're gonna do this. We're gonna do season 6. Then we'll do season 6. We'll do season 6 regular season, season 6 playoffs, season 6 championship, and then the 3-week All-Star Cup. So after that,
I think after that,
during
we might
that,
take a little bit of a break.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah,
right?
we'll figure it out.
Like,
anyway, so
so
far,
my point
let's
was
get back to the
during
game.
the All-Star.
Let's get back to the game. So far, Ashley using the blitz very early took out Hercules, which is a very good target that Ayli is very clearly trying to isolate. The problem with using that blitz that early on that target is not a lot of forward progress can get made this turn. And the biggest problem about not making forward progress here is that, of course, you've got Soul, the lineman, hanging around in the back line. And I think he might be the scoring threat for Smite game right now. And
I forget, does this team have a lot of leap? I know I'm not seeing any.
This is not a lot of leap. You're thinking of the Wood Elves, which have War Dancers that have leap.
Okay.
Yeah, the Wood Elf.
But Mercury did pick up leap, which is really good for Ayli right now that he's stunned, because it's one less factor to consider for another turn.
It is. Right now, Ayli has the fortunate advantage that, like, despite the fact that elves can move around a lot of things, the fact that Mercury is stunned kind of cuts off a lot of Alex's players from being able to make a straight run. There's not real, and also King Arthur having that movement stat loss. There's not really anybody who can directly punish the ball in this upcoming turn. And Karen's gonna knock down Kamazat. Not many armor breaks so far this game, despite the low armor value of both teams.
Yeah, no. We've got a stun, and that's literally it from what I've seen.
I think so. No one's been off the pitch. I think that's the only stun so far as well. It's been
the only comment I was going to make was during that All-Star Cup, I'll probably be playing through the campaign, but that's about all I play outside of playing with you guys.
Campaign's a good thing to go through.
I like the game. It's just I don't have much interest in playing it if I'm not speaking to my.
No, that makes perfect sense. That's why I stream.
Like, I'll play a single-player game and be very happy playing it, but if I'm playing multiplayer, I want to know the guy I'm playing with.
Well, actually, there is an in-game chat. If you hit enter, you can talk to them. And most people in this community are very nice. We're very fortunate that Blood Bowl and a lot of the Warhammer fans tend to be very, very nice people. Yeah,
some people get pretty go pretty hardcore on things, but most of those people are limited to actual, like, plastic. Like, the hardcore Warhammer fans that do tend to be a little bit on the sour side of the sport. Sorry, of the game.
That's because they're paying so much for models.
And not only are they paying so much for models, but, like, a lot of those people have dreams of going pro and actually being, like, you know,
because at
on
that
the
point,
circuit. And then it's not just a game anymore. There's a financial aspect to it where it is part of how you are sustaining yourself.
I can understand that a lot.
Yeah,
it makes things very stressful, which is why you like it can get kind of tough.
Even still, a lot of the Warhammer community, even in plastic, are really nice guys. Like, check out Warhammer TV on Twitch sometime. They do some really good content.
I haven't checked out Warhammer TV. I've watched a lot of other Blood Bowl 2 streamers, though. I've been watching, like, Artemis Black and other streamers like that. Is this his...
Warhammer
Why
TV
was that not
a lot of the major events? That should have been a...
Instead, he's taking the blitz way off on the side with Sun Wukong, but I think that was the blitz for him to make, because he's got... They both have block, and he's got the bonus strength, so that would have been a 2-die block. Even if you don't get the knockdown there, you've applied extra pressure to the back of the cage and forced Ayli to make a forward press.
Did the blitz even happen? Like, I saw a blitz move and then no movement of the character in question.
That's because Sun Wukong was on the ground. He was prone. He stood up and made the block immediately.
He stood up, knocked, and then didn't move any further.
Yeah, he did not follow and did not reposition. I think repositioning him there would have been good, though. Use him.
Yeah, I would have started moving down the field to the left to try and, like, get in the way. Like, if he could just get in the way of Toth, Toth. I actually don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Toth is his own player.
Sorry, my mistake.
I think you meant where is he?
No, I meant Toth. I just misidentified. No. But like, start moving down the field a little bit just to get in the way of the ability of other players to move down the field.
Yeah, no, screening is something that typically comes into play very heavily in these games, but this is Sunday Night Blood Bowl, so, you know, weird plays happen all the time, and it's why we have fun.
This game, like, elf games, and I know this is Elf v Amazon, but just a slight addendum, like, Elf v Elf games are probably some of the closest to chess that Blood Bowl gets, just because of the amount of extra thinking you have to do. Like,
and Hercules is KO'd. That is enormous. There is a strength 4 threat off the side of the Elven Union for this drive.
I might actually make the argument that the most strategic game you could have in Blood Bowl would be Kislev v Kislev, because of the amount of like extra considerations you have to make because of how many people on the team have Leap.
I would also argue that Kislev v Kislev could very easily be one of the dumbest games you ever played, because there are so many rolls that you have to make during the course of playing Kislev that there's a chance that you win just by sheer factor of you got the leaps off.
Absolutely, but
and I say that playing Kislev.
That is such a difficult thing to do.
Mm-hmm. I know it's a difficult thing to do because I do it to you guys all the time. I love playing Kislev. It's so
I don't
fun.
think I've been more proud of my time in Blood Bowl than beating you last week when you were playing Kislev. Like that was
impressive.
That was an extremely satisfying win because of the team. Because you're one of the better players in the league. But more importantly, you're playing one of the teams that is just really difficult to play against if you haven't played them yourself and learned the ins and outs of them.
Mm-hmm. It's part of that. To be frank, just because you were playing Lizardmen, you had a pretty big advantage. There's going to be another KO, this time on King Arthur. So that's a block lineman off the pitch. Not going to harm Alex too much in terms of mobility, but now his numbers are really falling. So it's
he's down to 9 versus his opponent's 11, correct?
Yes, Regina George did not start on the pitch.
So, yes. He named one Regina George.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
She did.
She did. No, it's fine.
I was forgetting I forgot who named it. Like I got mixed up on which team it was on. That's where I got confused.
All right, well, I'll give you a hint. If it's anything about mythology, it's Alex's. And Regina George, last I checked, was not a god.
I mean, have you seen that movie?
Not a lot of it, but I know that she's got a lot of power. Like, I see your point. I see your point. All right, this is So right now for Alex, this is definitely the turn where he needs to shut the ball down.
Turn things around.
Well, so the thing is, Ayli has a lot of free space ahead of her where she can move the ball, which means that Alex needs to either start caging this or start punching into this. And I think the biggest thing that Alex could do right now is put himself in a spot where the players that he is the Amazons have to get their blocks off just with their blitzes. All right, I see what Mercury was going for, but that's guard. Guard stays.
If I might make a suggestion, I think this is a good move. This is a very good move.
You want to stay on this. You definitely want to stay on this. Good job. All right, so he's going to get the 2 die onto Toxis.
Now, what I would suggest is move a couple of players in, right? Like, okay, so to the direct right and to the right and down of Silea, you can position 2 people to assist on blocks. I don't know how much he needs to assist. He only needs 1 to assist. So what you should do, in my opinion,
set 1 up for the assist, make a blitz.
Set 1 up for the assist and make the blitz. Yes.
I think this is the most exposed the ball has been during the course of this drive, and you do have a lot of agility for. Unfortunately, the 2 closest that you have available includes Ra, who has agility damage, but also 3-ups, while bad, are not the worst thing in the world unless you're Ayli, because Ayli can't make 3-ups to save her life.
But they can't both reach it. I'm looking here. Vulcan doesn't.
You bring
Toph. Doesn't have the movement
you have to. That's because Vulcan was just down, so his movement is lower.
So what you have to do is you have to dodge out. You have to dodge twice.
Ooh, no, not this. You don't. 1 dies and lives.
Although, hold on.
Are you saying push to Camazotz and go for another
push
block?
Push to Camazotz. Don't! No! No!
Okay.
You could have pushed it into a tackle zone.
I understand making that block, but if you make that block, you stay, you step over, and you give Camazotz help knocking Ashlyn 2 down and out of the way. You try to limit the amount of basing that you do. You don't. So between Elven Union and between Elven Union and Amazons, Amazons are the ones that want to fight. The Elven Union doesn't want to fight here.
I mean, it's not nearly as it is not nearly as one-sided on this as a lot of you want to be the fighting one versus you want to be the running one, but it is still decidedly in it. Like, you get what I mean? It's not like a, you know.
Well, I would argue for the base teams, the way that they're designed, I would say that yes, it is quite clearly that, because the dodge on the Amazons makes the chances of them getting knocked down much lower. But there is a decent amount of block on the side of the Elven Union team from their leveling. So actually, I think both teams have 3 block players out in right now, because 2 of the block players for Elven Union are currently out. Also, I guarantee. Oh god, wonderful.
It is not like I'm hiccupping up constantly. It's when I cough, it is being followed by a hiccup, which is the worst thing.
Yeah, I know. You sound like you have a squeaky cough, like someone needs to oil your throat. So I guarantee Ayli's looking at.
We're better. We're better now.
Okay, really? Because it sounded like you were dying.
I was able to clear my throat. We're feeling better. Oh,
that's good.
Jeez.
All right, I think this drive is pretty much going to go the way of the Amazons. Ayli's got to be laughing at this, because this is probably the worst setup she has ever made, but it's working.
I would like to make a comment, though. I know oftentimes you guys will point out, like, mistakes made by the players, and I think it's worthwhile. Like, I think it's a decision that I think it's something you should do. But I would like the small level of I would like a little bit of self-awareness, in the sense that, like, when you are in the middle of a match of Blood Bowl, it is a lot easier to miss something than when your only job is to observe the game in question.
No,
when
I
you
agree.
don't have a vested interest in who's winning, it becomes a lot easier to notice mistakes.
No, I absolutely agree. That's the way it is with a lot of games. That's why people will sit at home watching a football game saying, oh, you should have done this. That's because you're watching from, like, a bird's eye view through a drone.
Where you have access to, where you have very clear... Now, granted, we can bird's eye this. But even bird's eyeing this, it is so much information to take in at one time when you have a vested interest in victory that the caster is just often going to sometimes notice shit that the coach did not.
No, yeah. That's definitely a thing. That's going to happen all the time. With, like, everything. Even in Hearthstone, where you have... Well, okay, when it's...
We can't forgive that one where TB and who was it? You know which game I'm talking about.
Are you talking about 11+4?
I'm talking about 11+4, where neither caster nor the player in question figured it out.
3 people missed the fact that he had Pyroblast plus Frostbolt. It's very hard to forgive that, but it's also really funny. So
and I'm really sitting here thinking, you know, I'm not sure it wouldn't have been 4 players if the 4th player had access to his hand.
Yeah. That was that was Crip. Crip was the last player.
4 people was because one person couldn't see the hand in question.
Yeah, I think that was Crip as the last player too.
Yeah,
he did a video on that. It was pretty funny. All right. So
no, Crypt was the one who missed the 11+4. Crypt wasn't the player on the receiving end.
No, Crip wasn't the one who missed it.
I thought Crypt was the one who missed it.
I don't think it was Crip.
I know TB was one of the announcers. I remember that.
Yeah, I do know TB was one of the... No, I think it was another caster, because I remember someone said to a streamer, hey, I've got a deck list for you to try out, and he sent them the list for him from the game where he missed lethal, and it was like all classic cards, so I don't think it was Crip. I think it was his opponent. Maybe it was Crip. It's been way too long since I've seen that video.
Yeah. So, fun fact, the entire reason we got into Blood Bowl, I mean, Ayli had been playing it for a while, and I had owned the game for some time.
And just hadn't played it.
The reason we as a group got into it was I remember we had been talking more about Games Workshop in a server that we hang out in, and we've been talking a little bit more about Warhammer and playing shit like Vermintide and things like that.
Yeah.
And I brought up the fact that a few YouTubers I used to watch a lot, Total Biscuit, Jesse Cox, Wow Krendor.
Yeah, that whole group.
Used to do a Blood Bowl series, and it was about a year and at this point we're like within a month or two of a year after Total Biscuit's death. So I was thinking about him again. I was like, we've been talking about Games Workshop. I miss TB. Maybe it'd be fun to play Blood Bowl as a crew. And we got into it, and it wasn't too long before we had a full team of 8 players.
Yeah, although you are leaving out the part where you said you wanted to start a Blood Bowl league, and then I had to do all the work for it.
You had to do all the work because I had other shit going on, because I was working through my master's degree.
Yeah, you're the ideas guy. You're not the one that does the idea.
I mean, sometimes I'm the one who does the ideas, but not when I'm in the middle of
a master's degree. Yes, that's entirely fair.
Yeah.
All right, so this is probably a surf onto Toth.
Isn't it bad that I really want him to get stupid greedy with the ball and just surf the dude?
She probably will do that, but she's not going to surf with Silia. It doesn't matter.
It does.
Well, okay, it matters, but yeah, it's fine. No, this is going to be first a few blocks along the right side of the pitch to free up Ash or a similar. Actually, probably Kadoimi's going to go for that blitz, and then Ashlyn 2 is able to clear Hades out of the way, and then we'll have Silia go and get the ball down towards Toxus.
I would like to know, this isn't me forgetting Ayli. This is me just forgetting who's on what, who runs what, and me having me having the kind of typical gamer approach of defaulting to male pronouns for anybody on.
You're making it sound worse.
It is worse, and I need to get better at it.
Well, stop it. Also, like, we have 7 guys in the teams, so that's, you're wrong 12% of the time, except you've been wrong like every time so far this game. You're not being mean, you're just dumb.
Yes, this is failure to succeed, not willful assholery.
All right, so Ayli has made this like slightly worse for herself by putting Hades where Hades is. But this is still only 1 dodge. So it's still definitely manageable.
Really good job on her.
Yeah, none of these surfs are...
At this point, you honestly maybe do blitz. It might actually be easier. Wait, no. Wait,
the blitz just happened.
Right.
Ashlyn 2 just used the blitz.
Damn it, because if she hadn't, and she had that position, she could have... Yeah.
No, I get what you were saying. The thing is, the dodge 2 up because the agility up.
That's not quite a score.
Not quite, no.
You maybe throw this...
I think you probably do. Like, okay, you don't have to, because, you can manage, but I think it's a better choice because Sun Wukong has an easier time getting to Silia. He has to, like, dodge and going for it to get around and get to Toxus. So when you've got 4 agility on the person throwing and you've got the catch skill and the diving catch skill on the person receiving, I think you make that throw.
Yeah,
so I think the throw is better.
I also think that, statistically speaking, I don't think it's likely that it misses the player so badly that it goes out of bounds and bounces back up. I think it's more likely...
You have not played enough Games Workshop games. I know you've played a lot of them.
She's 2 squares from the edge. I think it's more likely it lands between her and the edge of the field.
Yeah.
Then it goes off field and bounces back up.
Well, either way, none of this matters because the wizard is going to strike Silia, and now the ball is going to be knocked loose. So Alex needs to pick this up.
Can we talk about the wizard again, because it doesn't come up in a lot of games? So
okay. Long story short, the wizard you can use at the start or end of your turn. If you use it midway through your turn must end. You can either strike with lightning, which is a 2-up to knock down a single target, or a fireball, which is a 3x3 area, and so like this large, and that
like the spell in D&D, basically.
Yeah, well, it's worse than the fireball spell in D&D because you need to for each player in you roll and a 4-up knocks them down. So it's a 50-50 for every player. So usually when you get the wizard, the best play that you can make. Oh my god,
this is the right move. It's ridiculous, but
it's ridiculous, but yeah.
And he is accurate, so he should do it.
So there's a touchdown. This is elves. This is elves. This is why I hate elves. They just cherry pick.
It's not cherry picking.
Elves. No, that is cherry picking. Have you ever played any game in gym class? This is what cherry picking is in gym class.
I thought cherry picking just meant selecting your data and ignoring.
Well, that's because you're a nerd.
I'm sorry, I'm a nerd. No, sorry, I take that back. I'm not sorry I'm a nerd. I'm proud of the fact I'm a nerd. And yes, that's how I know cherry picking to be.
So am I, but at least I remember gym class. So cherry picking. I'm gonna explain cherry picking. Shut up. Do I need to? I think everybody. I'll explain it to you.
Okay, but before you do, my experience with gym class was being so small that I was able to scoot in between the big guys that could easily knock me over. When we were playing floor hockey, I just duck between their arms and get to the ball.
Nice. That is the way to do it. No, so cherry picking in any gym.
I then get beat the crap beaten out of me.
Let me educate you.
Stand.
Oh God. All right. No, cherry picking in gym class was basically if you were playing like because it wasn't like official rule set and there wasn't rules about offsides and stuff. During soccer, speedball, basketball, any kind of game where you had a ball that had to get to a goal, you would have your entire team play defensive on defense, one man short, and you would have one person stand all the way at the other end by the other goal, so that if you got a hold of the ball, you would just launch it downfield as far as you could, and that one person would pick it up and score it. So
Ayli is really pissed right now, by the way. I'm just betting you.
Because it landed perfectly in between two players. It
was so close. She was so close to a victory there.
Oh, no, because of that? Yeah, no. I guarantee Ayli's... No, Ayli's not angry. Ayli's laughing. Are you kidding me? We've played enough games with Ayli to know she's laughing about that working.
She's mildly annoyed and laughing through it.
Yeah. No, that's probably the most accurate statement. Sun Wukong's going to get stunned. Ayli's going to probably try to murder somebody. I would.
She has time. I think she can still score this turn.
She does. But well, not this turn. There are three turns remaining, so Ayli does definitely have time to score. The other thing is, in the standings right now, MeanGirls is 2nd and Smite Game is 5th. So this game alone doesn't threaten Ayli's chance to make the playoffs. Does this
game threaten me? Because I don't know where I am in standings. I know
you're in a solid 3rd. So
I'm in. I'm basically
you're pretty much in. I think. It would only be if both if Alex wins this game and then Dylan and Alex both win the following games after this, then you'd be out.
And I'm up against Alex next game. With
so that
a 6-man Lizardman team, so I got a pretty good chance here.
Yeah, you just have to beat Alex in the next game. That's pretty much going to be whether that's going to decide which one of you gets.
Well, that and whatever happens with Dylan is going to decide things. But I have a way to I have to cinch it.
You're still pretty much good. All right, so there's going to be a knockdown onto Hercules on the right half of the pitch. So far, we've only got 2 knockdowns with a stun and just a down. All the KOs are up.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to figure out which game we should watch next, because I know you had a plan in mind. But with how contentious this last week might be,
I still want to do Nurgle Chaos, just for the reason that even though you two are fighting for who's going to make playoffs, well, okay, we'll think about it, but even though you two are fighting for who's going to make playoffs, at that point, we'll see you in playoffs. So,
well, if Alex loses this, I don't think I'm in threat anymore.
If Alex loses this, you're not in threat. If Alex wins this, it'll probably be you against Alex for next week's broadcast. Just because that's gonna
and if Alex loses this, it's probably Nurgle Chaos, which is totally fair.
If Alex loses this, it's definitely Nurgle Chaos, because at that point I think that all the standings are set.
Yeah, we'll double check at the end, but that sounds about right.
But so far, it's looking like Alex might take this one if he keeps playing the way he's been playing. Although,
which is really good.
Well, actually no. If he keeps playing the way that he's been playing, it probably goes the way of Ayli. Because if you remember, that turn, the reason he got that touchdown was, 1, scoring threat, which, good, that is what he should do, so that's a good play by him. But then the second factor is that he got the lightning bolt. The third factor is that he rolled a 5-up to make the pass successfully. And I think another roll. It was a 5-up and I can't find it. I'm blind. Oh, it's really far back, that's why. It was a 5-up, and the catch was only a 2. So yeah, the catch is fine.
Back. Ayli has the ball right now, and we're gonna see what happens here. There's a dodge. Okay, this very easily goes Ayli's way.
It does. That's not a push you really want to follow.
She can't score next turn.
Yeah, this goes back to the thing of Alex needs to screen more, but I remember his early games because he played against my undead team and he saw me caging all the time. He was caging his high elves, and it was really funny to watch because he didn't know how significant the difference was with players. Because when you play elves, most of the time you're positioning really, really well, and unless you're playing against
waiting
other elves,
for them to make a screw up, because then you can capitalize. Yeah,
and very often disrespecting your opponent and what they want to do. You're just getting in the way and telling them, no, you don't do that. Ayli and I actually, in a different league, we've decided to both play elves. So I'm playing Dark Elves.
What league is that? I saw a little bit of that. I didn't.
Ayli is running a separate league called 2-Up Turf. It's run a similar format to Sunday Night Blood Bowl in terms of the round robin. I think leading the playoffs. I don't remember if there's playoffs or not. But the difference is that for this one, unlike the fun, goofy leveling that we have in a lot of our Sunday Night Blood Bowl teams, it's you're leveled a lot more like a CCL game or a more serious team.
So this is going with actually look it up, actually level according to the line.
Yes, and it looks like we're going to get an injury onto Soul, so that's going to take one player permanently off the pitch.
I do believe it is likely that over time we'll see. I think what's going to happen with Blood
I think
Bowl,
next series people are going to be leveling better, but also we're still going to experiment.
I think what's going to happen is Sunday Night Blood Bowl next series, if we have for the people who are keeping a team from this series where they're rolling up another, I'm playing Lizardman, I'm rolling up another team.
Yeah.
Right? I think that team will be leveled the way you would level it in traditional.
It'll be leveled appropriately. I feel like this is...
But the new team you get will be more experimental. I think that's how that's going to be. Yeah. Whoever your carryover team is, you'll be more... you will have worked out the kinks, and because you'll have worked out the kinks, you'll be like, okay, I want to play this done right now that I know what doing it right is. But I still want to fool around and learn with another team.
I think Sunday Night Blood Bowl for a lot of us has become the league where we're I don't play this team ever. I want to try playing this team, and I don't know what works for them, and even though I could look it up and figure it out, I just kind of want to click stuff. But I think really that makes the games a lot more interesting for us.
But I think it's also going to be neat next series when it's okay, I'm going to take one team that I've never tried before, and I'm going to take one team I've learned with.
Yes,
so then
I think
we're going to have a neat dichotomy where we see some people do better with a team that they've never used before because it fits their playstyle more.
Yeah,
because it fits their playstyle more, and some people are going to be like, no, the team that I learned how to play was the playstyle I like, so I just feel better with it. For me, I'm going to be doing
You're playing Lizardmen and Chorfs.
Yeah, and I'm so excited for it because Chorfs just feels great.
Chorfs, I've been playing on CCL and they're a lot of fun.
I have 6 level 4 players. Sorry, no, that's my Norse team for the back half of this series. But
yeah, you're switching your halflings out for Norse. Yeah. So another quick thing, I let everyone because we had we had 2 teams that got just absolutely wrecked this season or the season before, and there's a lot of deaths on the team, and the players just aren't capable. And also Adam hates playing halflings in league play because he has to play them consistently and their record matters.
They're really fun when it's a 1-season league. When we do this franchise mode that we play, which is completely antithetical to how anybody else plays Blood Bowl, by the way.
This is how the Twitch League runs it, last I heard. Last time I checked, the Twitch League runs at 6 seasons because there are certain teams that do better when it's late game and they've leveled. And this...
I didn't hear that it was broken down individual seasons in that regard, but maybe that's the case.
Last time I watched anything the Twitch League did, but basically that just means that teams that are good around 1,000 TV and with some leveling get to do really good for the first 2 or 3 seasons, and then teams that need a lot of levels and benefit later get to do well on the latter 3. So all the orc teams get to beat people up for the first 3 seasons, and then all the dark elves come in and just yeet everyone back to the benches.
I still plan to, however, so I'm down for playing halflings either for one season where it's like, hey, it's just a season to fuck around. Let's have some fun.
We might be doing the Chaos League.
Or the Blood Bowl League where it's like, hey, you got 6 weeks, go up we're just gonna have a ladder and you're gonna play on it. I'm down for trying to make the best the best halfling team for that league. I am down for playing halflings in the 6-week league that they have set up that you had told me about, where it's like they take the best player of each
race, and then there's a wild card for the people who did best regardless of race.
Because that seems like it would be fun to play halflings for, because it's like, I'm not trying to beat every other team.
Just the other halflings.
I'm just trying to be the best halflings.
Yeah, I think you should try it. The Cabal Vision League's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. So a lot of pressure being applied by the Amazons here. Ayli has created a lot of space, and this is a lot of that is an unfortunate role for Hercules. So this is a lot of what I talk about when it comes to the positioning stuff and the screening. So because right now the way that Ayli has her team set up, if you click, we'll click here to show, there's a lot of tackle zones that are in between the elf players and the ball carrier. Toth probably could get there just fine, but then the problem is, force strength, blodge. It's hard to get the thrower down, and yeah, locking down the catcher is not a bad play, but it's hard to do because 3 up on a dodge, fairly easy to get out of it. I believe it's about a 75 to 80% chance of dodging that. It's pretty high. But there we go. We're gonna see a leap. I love the leaps. And what? Okay. Well, this is why you don't try to dodge away from somebody with tackle. Even if it's a 2-up, the way you're used to dodging with a dodge player is not as easy as it was before. It just is harder. So there's going to be a pretty much expected blitz onto Vulcan. He's going to go down, and this is Ayli's lap. Oh, Vulcan is going to get injured.
Ooh.
Yeah. He's going to miss next game, so that's going to be pretty impactful in the following match.
Which is great for me.
It's great for you, yeah. What's most notable about the way this is going.
Does
First
Alex
off,
even have any subs? I can't even remember.
Alex has no subs. So
okay,
Alex will be having some journeymen next week. And more importantly, with the Atheltic Plastic running this in and putting the game up 1-1, Alex, despite receiving the ball, will be down 2, maybe 3 players going into the following match. Or the following drive.
That's huge.
That is really big, and it puts this game pretty heavily in Ayli's favor. And
it actually means that Alex's prime objective in this next turn should be beat the shit out of as much as possible, like just dog pit.
Definitely start beating things up. So
that he can even the things out against her going into second half.
Yeah, that is going to be difficult just because there is, it's one turn to try to beat things up. Although, to be fair...
And, Ayli has an incentive to move as much away from center as possible. But if you can deal with the 3 on the line,
Did you see the game last night that the games last night that I played with my undead team?
Not a lot of it.
On a stream last night, I had to play my miners with Alex and my miners with Ayli. During the course of those 2 games, thanks to multiple block and block, Patches, my mummy, killed or injured 4 or 5 players. It was like, use multiple blocks, send 2 people off the pitch. That was basically how it went.
Hey, so you know what I think's interesting?
What?
We're apparently getting Blood Bowl 3 this year, along with new rules for the tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to my understanding, this is the first time Blood Bowl's gotten new rules since Age of Sigmar.
Really?
So, if that's the case, right, then it is possible we see Age of Sigmar races in Blood Bowl.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, we've seen, I feel like the races that we have here, I think, are just like standard Warhammer races, right? They're not.
They're
It's not 40K races.
But it's Warhammer Old World as opposed to
Age of Sigmar. I would still love to see a Tyranid Blood Bowl team.
Oh no, I'd love it too. Maybe instead of having it be Blood Bowl, you make a separate sport game for 40K.
I'm not entirely sure you need. I understand why you would, but I don't think that you necessarily need to.
Because so much stuff in 40K shoots. That's the reason.
Yeah, but I don't think it's entirely necessary to, because like even like there are bombs and knives and stuff as secret weapons in this game. I think when it comes to bolters, I feel like you don't have to start implementing those. It's not really necessary to make that part of the game's repertoire.
Sure. I just think you can maybe have some fun with like, oh, there's a 40K version of Blood Bowl. Here is the 20 different Space Marine factions. And it's like you actually see meaningful differences between the way that Salamanders plays versus Space Wolves. By the way,
I can see that being fun.
I'm so excited to debut that Norse team next series. I am so excited.
Didn't you name them after Space Wolves? Also, Alex, what are you doing? Why didn't you push them into Sun Wukong? Just take the other free block.
I named them Space Wolves? Question mark.
I forgot about that.
They might be. And the tagline for the team is, I think I'm in the wrong game.
Nice. All right, there's going to be the first armor break from this bully
beat up
turn. It's just going to stun, though.
So what he should do... Wow, I'm really screwing this up.
You are. What he should do is probably, blitz Karen.
You maybe consider a foul. Oh, no.
You can... Okay, I can understand why you'd want to consider a foul. This is not a foul-worthy turn. Because if you foul, then you're going to be... Like, you're just going to be potentially losing players. It's not necessary for you to lose a player because you're going for a foul.
I think putting a sneaky get on my lizard was a good idea.
That was a good idea. It's very annoying. All right, we're going to head down to the pitch and see how they're doing.
You know what the best part of that was?
What?
I stuck it on the guy with reduced movement because I knew that he wasn't going to be running the ball, so I could at least do something else with him.
That's a very good idea. All right, let's head down to the pitch and see how they're doing.
Okay.
So.
Hello.
That was the world's greatest touchdown, and nothing will ever top that.
What? Yes, that cross pitch pass?
Yes.
That was beautiful.
Hilarious.
I had flashbacks to my game with David.
That was beautiful.
I was kind of hoping you'd intercept it halfway across the pitch just to be just to shut it down.
I saw a success after I hit pro on the reroll, and I was like, no way.
I saw a 6 at the bottom, and for a second I was like, wait, and then I figured, no, the camera would have moved by now.
I tried so hard to score quickly on him so we could like get the game rolling, but no.
He just had to tie on you.
Seriously, Ayli, I need you to beat the shit out of him because I need to not worry about him next game. I need to not worry about my game.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Playoffs.
You're the most biased broadcaster I've seen.
I have no way of influencing what happens in the game, so it's fine.
Yeah. I'm not influencing. Just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, but that still can't change a dice roll, so it doesn't matter if I'm biased against you.
All right, well...
Random number generation means my bias is irrelevant.
All right, well, this has been an enlightening conversation.
Rare insight into the friendship I'm sorry, quote, friendship of Adam and Alex.
I mean, it's still less violent than your and I friendship.
That's fair.
Yeah. No, but
it's also less shouting than most of the friendships in this league.
After this game ends, if Alex has won, there's a chance that Alex goes to playoffs. If Alex has lost, he's pretty much not.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Make or break, Alex.
Do be like that.
Also, it looks like if you've won, it also looks like if you've won will be the game that we play next season. Sorry, next
broadcast. Next broadcast will be Lizardmen versus Elven Union if this is a win. for you.
But if you lose, we can play our game right after.
If it's a tie, it doesn't matter too, right?
If it's a tie, that probably doesn't.
Oh, baby girl.
Oh well, let's go to the pitch before the blood flies, or the booth. That's what I meant. Alex or Adam's dying down there. Let me give him a second. Hey, you breathing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I pulled my headset off of my face because I was like, I really need to cough.
Okay, that explains all the noise. All right, well, there's gonna be a free blitz onto Mercury. Shouldn't have put him there. And if this sends him off the pitch, and it does, that is setting a very bad tone for this drive.
That's nasty.
Yeah, this isn't even a turn for Ayli. This is just the blitz. So she's in a very good mood now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ow.
that was probably not necessary. Hey, she didn't say whatever. Do you know about that? No, she didn't reroll it. That's not really worth rerolling.
Yeah, the whatever meme like it's a result of me saying
yeah,
it's a result of me saying I don't give a shit whenever players rolls badly.
No. You say.
Or are you talking about the other meme?
No. You say that whenever you roll a badly hurt because you don't care if your players are badly hurt because of your halflings, which trained you to be that way.
And it means they'll be back the next game anyway, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah, no. The whatever meme is that every time Ayli says whatever before deciding not to re-roll something, the player that is involved in that roll dies.
Okay.
Every time. Without fail. It's very funny. Why would you follow that? Now you're gonna get decked.
I got a question. What color are you painting your orcs for 40k? Do you have an idea? Are you going to do purple? Tell me you're going to do purple.
They're going to be green. They're orcs.
Oh. I thought you were going to be sneaky. You never seen a purple orc.
No, because that wouldn't make any sense. Orcs don't play sneaky. If I ever got orcs that were like commandos of some kind, yeah, I'd make them purple.
Okay, because that's actually like a thing orcs believe is that.
Yes, I do know that. I do know that.
Okay.
Hey, there's going to be a lucky one die for Alex that's going to send
you're predominantly going to go
down.
Green. I imagine maybe a black orc in there too, but like...
But black orcs are still green.
Are they? That bothers me. That bothers me a lot.
Have you not seen the black orcs on the orc team in this game? They're still green.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a chance that my war boss will be red because of Garrosh Hellscream.
Okay.
Like, that's pretty fair. Love people spamming not my war chief.
Fun fact, his dad was green. Do you want to know why orcs were green for a long period of time?
I know why they turned red. It was because Gromosh drank from some kind of...
No, they turned green because they drank the blood of Manoroth.
Oh,
red
okay.
is actually them red and brown were actually their more typical coloration, and those who never drank the blood
never changed.
Never changed coloration.
Okay.
So that's why Garrosh is red while his father was green.
I actually didn't know that Garrosh was his father. I thought they were like brothers or something.
Gromosh is Garrosh's dad.
Okay.
Is Garrosh's dad. And in fact, part of why Garrosh goes down such a dark route is Gromosh's last action was one of self-sacrifice and care for the Horde. He dies trying to defeat Manoroth, the guy whose blood the orcs drank, right? Okay. And he succeeds, but he dies in the process. And so Thrall helped raise Garrosh. Thrall helped raise his son. He was a mentor to him, and as well as I think I'm trying to remember what his name is.
Okay, get to the point. Don't worry about the
Sarfang was also also helped mentor, and they told Garrosh of how his...
Oh, Herc's dead. Hercules is going to get killed here.
It's going to suck for Herc.
Yeah.
They basically told Garrosh of the good things his father did, right? Of, like, how he
wasn't it?
Saved the Horde.
I think I know about this.
They told him about how he helped to save the Horde, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't tell him about all the terrible shit he did beforehand. So like, he grew up seeing his dad as nothing but a hero.
And now he behaves the way that his father did, even though his father was actually highly tyrannical.
Even though his father made mistakes, and like it's thought that perhaps if they told him the good and the bad, how he made bad decisions, but in the end he made it right. That perhaps Garrosh might not have been so headstrong and so rash to judgment in so many ways, and he might have been a better war chief. That's the idea.
That makes sense.
Garrosh is like, I hate Garrosh. I hate Garrosh because I was Alliance, but Garrosh is a really well done
character. Yes,
he's a very well done tragic villain.
Okay. So there's gonna be the scoring threat addressed. Camazotz is gonna go ahead and get stunned off to the side of the pitch, and there's still a blitz available for Ayli, which means that Godoymi could go for the blitz onto Hercules, having block and tackle, which would make it more likely that Herc would go down. And I think it's not a bad idea to keep him down as often as possible, because he can be a huge threat if he's left ignored. Regardless, Karen Smith needs to move, because she is sitting where she can get surfed. And at this point, Alex needs to take anyone he can send off the pitch, he needs to send them off the pitch now to get the numbers advantage. So a surf is better than trying for an injury he might not get.
And just as a note, you do see this storyline that I'm speaking about right now is addressed in Warcraft 3 between the base game and Frozen Throne. So if you play through the campaign, I know it isn't what everybody was promised, but it is still serviceable for story purposes.
Yeah, I'll probably finish the story mode. I don't know how much I'll play beyond that. That's all I really got it for.
Same. And I think for $40, if you're just playing it to see the story of Warcraft 3, it is worth. But I would not try and advertise it to anybody else on any reason other than that.
I mean, if you wanted to get it to see the story, then you were probably better off playing the original. But you can't do that anymore, so that's unfortunate. And there, Ayli is going to go ahead and do Ayli things and blitz.
Blitz
the ball carrier all the way in the back line.
To my understanding, the original had some difficulty running on modern systems. Like
but they could have. One period. The thing is, they could have fixed it, and instead they made this. Which, fair, you made this, but now that this has gone so poorly, just fix the old one.
Yeah,
like just fix the old one, and everyone will be happy.
Gets updated and improved, but for right now, it's only recommendable as if you are a massive lore buff and you want to see what leads into
the story is. Yes. All right. Well, Toxus Pleiades is going to get free reign of the pitch, and instead of running down the field, is going to go help with this block on Hades. So Hades is going to get sent off one way or the other, and this is going to further split up the few elves that remain on the side of Smite game. So right now, this is definitely a very favorable position for Ayli. Very smart of her to move Godoymi back here, because basically every turn for the rest of the game, Alex needs to establish a scoring threat, because he never knows which turn he's gonna have to go for that touchdown. Like you don't like this in this case. You don't really have a choice. You have to be ready to score, because you're down so many players. The ball is going to get threatened basically every turn.
Yeah,
you need to be able to make that throw on any one turn to get this game ended. And it looks like now he's going to move up towards the front line and try and cage up a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just straight up caging. You don't want to do this as Elf. Well, okay, if he wants to do this, he needs to get Ashlyn 2 out of there.
Nice.
That's good. Not gonna cause any injury, unfortunately.
But it'll at least mean that player has to blitz if it wants to do shit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
By the way, can we address how jump up is significantly better than it
is? Than what?
Can we address how jump up is actually like way better than initially appears when description?
Jump up is incredibly good.
Because its description doesn't mention the fact that if you jump up next to a player and attack them, as long as you do it in one quick action, it does not eat your blitz for the turn.
It doesn't eat your blitz, and it's a 2-up to stand up, though. You can fail it. I know in my game against you, I failed the roll, re-rolled it, and failed the re-roll. And I was not happy.
Sure, but it is way better than it initially appears. Like, there was a period of time where I thought it was only worth taking on things like Ents, where...
The treeman, yeah.
Where you need it in order to stand up without a penalty. But now I'm realizing, oh shit, like it's actually really good.
It's pretty good.
I consider putting it on a Saurus if he rolled doubles, to be honest.
You wanna put it onto players with piling on. You really want to give it to players with piling on.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the biggest use for it is players with piling on and players with diving tackle. Because diving tackle can end your opponent's turn by making that dodge harder. And once you've succeeded at that, you have lost 0 mobility because you can get right back up, but your opponent has lost 3 off the player that you tripped. Because they have to use that to stand up. So it's incredibly good for that.
So I understand jump up doesn't like use your blitz if the player is right next to you. Does it use your blitz if the player is further away and you still use it? Okay.
If it's further away, you don't roll the 2-up, but you use your blitz.
Okay.
If you want also if you want to guarantee that you don't have to take the 2-up, you can declare a blitz while prone and make a block. You don't do the 2-up, but you use your blitz and you can start moving. So basically blitz rules apply as normal. It's just if you don't want to blitz, you can do that.
It's really neat. Like, I really like the way jump up initially seems like I could see situations in where that's good, but it doesn't seem worth grabbing. And then you look into like the intricacies of it and you're like, oh shit, that's like really
it's a really solid way to keep your movement up. And there Ashlyn 2 is going to get a successful blitz onto
So the question
Toth.
is, where's the ball going to bounce?
Yeah, pretty much. And is going to bounce into a very favorable position for Ayli. Toxis could go pick this up right now. Yeah, just start setting up some players nearby. Have Toxis pick up the ball. Yeah, it looks like Ayli's gonna start. Yeah. Well, yeah, cage works.
Close to it.
Cage or screen. Amazon's a team that can kind of do both. This is probably more of a screen situation because the players that Ayli has available to get over there can't form a full cage without going for it, and you don't have rerolls anymore. So the better play is probably just a screen. Now granted, screening against elves is very, very hard and annoying. But that's 2 of the players in the back have tackle. And the other thing is that Ayli can't necessarily just give up players to defend this ball, because if Alex gets free, then the same thing that happened last time happens again. But if you just move one of the remaining 2 players, not there. Okay, that was... Toxis can get beat up. Although, that's not going to make a dodge any easier for anybody. So Alex probably should have blocked with Ra instead of with Hades there, so that Hades could go on the blitz. But regardless, Toxis isn't super well defended. And against a lot of teams, this wouldn't matter. But because you're dealing with elves and they have 4 agility on most players, it's fairly easy for Alex to reposition and address this. And the faster he addresses this, the better. Because look at Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong is in a reverse cage. He's useless. Kuhalan, he can dodge out and start doing something, so he's perfectly fine. Kamazotz has to do work to get out of where he is right now.
Nice shot. Nice shot.
Good hit. Good hit. Karen's going to go down. I would have stuck her next to
Are you going to run? Thank you.
Yeah,
They'll be like, don't tell me you use your blitz and you're leaving him standing there. Don't tell me you did that.
Don't tell me you made that mistake.
Don't tell me you made that offer I could refuse.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm just saying things at this point.
Okay. King Arthur.
I hope they're at least entertaining.
I'm amused and confused. King Arthur's been sent to his death.
Good enough for me.
Okay. There's going to be a fortunate block for Kuhalan on Decilia, which doesn't actually free up Sun Wukong entirely.
No, but it does get... I think it gives him a 2-die on Ashlyn.
No. But, yes. No.
Yeah.
No, because Ash has guard.
Wait, somebody has guard?
So, yeah, Ash applies +1. So it's a 1-die.
Wait, Rizzling and Ash both have guard.
It's Ashley. It's not.
No, it's Ash.
Is it? What? How the heck does Ayli pronounce that name?
ASHE is Ash. I don't give a damn who you are.
What? No, that's not the one I was looking at.
Sorry, Aisling.
Yeah, Ashley, it's... I don't...
Bootleg wine. Got it.
Bootleg wine. There goes bootleg wine with another block. Yeah, alright, Ash is going to go ahead and get the knockdown onto Sun Wukong.
Bootleg wine. Stab.
Bootleg wine doesn't have a knife. This is going to give a lot of... But no, put him next to bootleg wine. Let bootleg wine hit him. Sorry, Ayli, we've renamed your player.
We've renamed your player to something we can pronounce.
I can pronounce it, I just can't remember how it's pronounced.
I think that Quance is not knowing how to pronounce it.
You said not able, there's a difference.
Fine.
There's no dodge there. Okay, I guess it's the debate of do you keep him there or push him. You push him. You don't keep him there next to your ball carrier. And I think Ayli is safe
Stab the thing!
I think Ayli is frankly quite safe to cage up and keep beating up the elves when they try to approach. Like, Ayli has time on her side, and if you try to force a play against the Elven Union, it's just gonna wreck you.
I wouldn't play with food that much until you're closer to the end zone, though.
Okay, I'm glad that it went that way, because you said I wouldn't play with food that much. Now I was like, wait, is Adam playing with food right now?
No.
I thought you were trying to justify the fact that you were currently playing with food.
I'm not.
Okay.
I already ate. Moving on.
That's not really a defense. Alright. So Ayli has this pretty much locked down. I'm guessing there's going to be a block onto Hercules. I don't think you... Oh, okay. King Arthur and Hades can get over there and punch you. I don't know why you would do that.
I don't know why you'd sidestep between the two players.
Because it locks both of them down?
Except for the part where...
No, this is good. You want to lock them down.
Punch Andromeda, punch. Why didn't you punch Andromeda?
Because he has 4 strength. It would have been a 1-die, and he has block.
Fair.
Yeah. No, this locks down Andromeda, because if Andromeda had been let loose, she could have run over and given more cover to Toxus. So that was a good play.
I absolutely despise. I don't know if Ayli. I don't know how many of these names Ayli picked and how many were auto-gen, but I fucking hate these names.
I'm pretty sure that the only ones that Ayli named were the Blitzers. And some of the newer line women. Most of the line women that have been around for a while have auto-generated names. The newer line women, like Mary Kay herself.
Ben, please do me a
Karen
favor.
Smith. What?
When you get the chance, dogpile the shit out of Toxiclotla. I hate him
Toxiclotla
so much.
I know.
I hate his existence so much.
Oh my god.
That happened. That's a thing.
Ayli didn't roll dead for once.
Wow, impressive.
Yeah, Ayli usually rolls... Oh my god. King Arthur has the ball.
This game, the next game may suddenly matter.
Well, the thing is, King Arthur has the ball, but he has no one to give it to.
And no movement left to make.
Yeah. Oh, no, he blitzed too, so he couldn't pass it. So this just means all this means is that King Arthur has the ball. Now it's up to Alex to protect him.
Whoops.
And, yeah, that makes sense. Because it did get bumped up to... Oh, wait, he passed the 3-up and failed the 2-up. Yeah, keep basing him. You can afford that.
He passed the dodge and failed the...
He passed the 3-up dodge and failed the 2-up dodge. Because it was a 3-up for the first one because he had to walk and enter a tackle zone, and then it was a 2-up for the other one because he did not enter a tackle zone. Yeah, that's the dodge math that took me like 2.5 or 1.5 seasons to figure out. Yeah, so there's the blitz onto King Arthur with somebody with Mighty Blow. And there's gonna be 2... Oh, now King Arthur's dead. This is a lot of death in the course of 2 turns. All right, yeah, take the gouge die. That's definitely better. There's a lot of murder happening all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the question is, do you have Aisling go pick it up herself, or do you have someone give the ball to Aisling? Or yeah, defend Aisling too. That works too. And at that point, you gotta change up your screen just a little bit. Hades can still get there. Like, Hades has no problem getting there, but it won't be easy for him to actually get the knockdown. Because Blodge. I think that's the next thing that a lot of coaches in our league are going to start going for. There's a KO. Besides the rampant tackle obsession that's been going through all the teams, probably the next skill that everyone's going to start picking up is strip ball or wrestle. Because there's so many ball carriers now with Blodge that it's so hard to get them on the ground unless you have tackle, that it's becoming more and more necessary to have an alternate way to get the ball out of their hands.
I think we're going to see a lot of leader next season. I really do.
Yeah, leader too. I know.
Because like I finally picked it up on a skank, you know.
Yeah, I picked that one up very recently. It's definitely one that's good to get. Well, okay. The thing about leader is most players need doubles to get leader because you need access to passing for it. So the thing is, when you're rolling doubles early in the game, a lot of the time there are other things you need to give them for doubles. Usually, most notably, block, dodge, mighty blow, guard. Well, block, dodge, and guard. Those are the big ones that you usually get for doubles. Like my Hobgoblin for my Chorf team just got guard, because it's just a really nice thing to be able to give extra tackle zones and get advantage on your blocks. Leader is one of the ones you pick up a little bit later, because even though it is a free reroll, if you can avoid needing to use the rerolls more often, it's better to do that than to waste getting leader when you could have a skill that prevents your player from needing to use a reroll.
Fair.
That is a very unfortunate roll for that dodge. But looks like we are going to see some pressure applied to the ball carrier, and there's going to be a hit, and there's no knockdown. And this is why I think we're going to see more wrestle. I know I've gotten wrestle on a lot of my Kislev, because it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think dodge has just become such a huge part of our meta that
it eventually becomes a big part of most metas. Hercules now
have to start countering it.
Hercules now losing an armor value, so he's down to 7 armor after this game. That is 1 armor away from being pretty much useless.
Yeah. I also think that we're in a situation where, like, if we look at, say, my Sauruses, right? I'm trying to figure out what am I going to give them once they have Piling On and Mighty Blow, right? And Wrestle's not a bad pick. I mean, Guard's not a bad pick either. Wrestle is definitely on the list of things to consider at that point. You maybe give Guard to the 2 that are on the flanks of my 5-man scrimmage, and wrestle the 2 in the 2 in the middle. Like,
it's not a bad thing to pick up. It's once everyone starts getting more skills to keep their players up, the rest of the leagues starts to look at skills that help them knock them down. That's why there was such a huge boom of tackle in Sunday Night Blood Bowl, because we had 4 elf teams across the leagues, plus your skinks and halflings, plus the goblins. There were just so many teams. Oh, there's a KO.
Oof. Well, the rest of Hades' name now feels
very appropriate. Yeah. Owie. So that's going to be a touchdown for Ayli. Oh, no, Ayli's going to wait. Ayli's going to wait this out. Yeah, you don't need to force that touchdown. You need to let the elves not have a chance to score. So we had that huge boom. Okay, I guess Ayli's just going to do it. Thanks, Ayli. I look stupid now.
That.
I can, because that's going to bring, like, what, 4 players back on the side of the Elven Union, probably?
Depends.
Well, it's a 2-up. Usually it succeeds.
Oh, right.
I
forgot this is Elven Turf, my bad.
Well, no, not Elven Turf. It's 2 Bloodwiser babes.
Okay. Brings back 2 of them.
Okay, brings back 2 out of 3. That's pretty much average, I think.
Yeah.
So, still not by any stretch of the definition like an easy thing for Alex to do, but now
Now Alex is sitting at 6 players. This is still like absolute hell. Is it 6 against 9?
6 against 11. No, none of the Amazons have been taken out of the game at all.
Sorry, I was away from keyboard for a second, so I didn't see the 2 in the back line.
Yeah. Yeah. None of the Amazons have been sent off the pitch. Like Regina George has been standing on the sidelines doing nothing all game.
It's like that time where Basilisk was like, "I'm so happy I actually get to enter the battlefield for the first time in 7 games."
That one poor 0 SPP player that we all keep on the sidelines.
Who I think at this point we just need to start referring to our 0 SPP player that's been in since game 1 as the mascot. Well, who's your mascot? My mascot's Chameleon. Who's your mascot? My mascot's Smite game. Or sorry, my mascot's fucking.
All right, wait. Are you talking about players who have been playing, or players who have just been like sitting there?
Players who have been sitting on the sidelines the entire time. But you've had for a very long period of time.
My mascot
right? So the 0 SPP that you've owned for 6 games.
My alarm. I forgot about my alarm. My mascot is Adon Yumach, and who is an Amazon that I killed in like the 2nd season of Sunday Night Blood Bowl, and almost never used.
Yeah, it's a 0 SPP player that you've had for like at least 4 games.
That is unfortunate.
Never gets to see the game and just never gets to see the field because you keep everybody else standing. Or even when they see the field, they never get to do anything because other people have priority.
Yeah.
They're just a body to distract and to.
Here's for the punching bags.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like David's assassin that he finally fired?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I know now that his assassin is just genuinely a bad assassin because I used an assassin against Ayli's elf team and he KO'd like 3 people.
Yeah. Is it that it's a bad assassin or is Reaper just bad at using it?
It's a bad assassin. Okay. Because he has Camazot's injured now.
Oh, fuck, that hurts.
Badly hurt, but
I mean, it's a badly hurt, but there's 4 players left on the pitch.
5. There's still Toth back at the ball.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, but
you get my point. Like,
All right, so Sun Wukong's probably gonna get taken out too.
Dogpile Sun Wukong. Come on.
He could get surfed here. We could see a surf here. Like
what's that?
Probably to reposition afterwards. And there's another armor break. Just a stun, but that's enough. He's effectively like he's off the pitch, or he's inactive on turn 15. He gets up on turn 16, and when he gets up, he is not going to have enough movement into the end zone. He's useless.
Shit.
And Roz KO'd.
At this point, if I'm Ayli, I honestly go for a foul on one of the 2 players that isn't stunned, because one of your players gets sent off, the payoff is so much more significant.
Yeah, like, once you get to this point, you can probably start fouling people.
Okay, you wind up in
maybe turn 15 actually.
4? Or 10-3 situation.
It's an 11-4 right now. It would be a 10-4. I think it might be worth considering that, but I also think it's important.
I wouldn't do it on the stunned player personally. I would do it on.
Well, no, Ayli is addressing the stunned player because if the stunned player gets up and starts running, that could be a problem. But also, he does not have the movement to get to the end zone. He will stop 3 spaces short. So now Alex has the unfortunate, has to face the unfortunate truth that the player, if he wants, he's doing the same thing that I did to Ayli back in the Challengers Cup from the first season.
Clarify.
You fell asleep. You were casting that one. The first season of the Challenger Cup.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that game, by the way.
It's water under the bridge at this point. It's been 2 seasons. Oof.
You know what I'd like? I'd like if they sometimes showed. That's just
so unnecessary at this point. Okay.
I like if they showed I'd like if they showed some of those attempts to like sweep out when you succeed still. Like I think it'd be kind of cool to have that event pop up and just watch your player dodge the sweep. right?
That might be a few too many animations.
Yeah.
Like, I like the animations, but there's a certain point where the game has to be more important than the animations.
Fair.
So,
maybe you could do it so it just happens on the last dodge check they have to make if they've passed the rest.
Make it that if you've made 3 dodge checks and passed the final one, it shows it.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Okay, that'd be interesting.
That'd just be like a really cool, like a right, like
you're freaking out, but then you made it.
Yeah. Really good.
So,
foul something, please. Hurt Alex worse.
I know you have an obsession with fouling, but chill. I mean, at this point, there are so many.
I think there's literally no reason not to.
No. I see what Ayli's doing. She's spreading her players across the pitch as far as she can get them, so that if Alex decides to stand up Kuhalan and go for a pass, she might get the interception.
Oh, God.
Or she's just gonna go beat up Toth so she can get a 3rd touchdown. Oh, he has to use his dodge skill. That was a 5-up. Oh, he doesn't have dodge. He just got up and moved 1 space. And they're probably both laughing right now. Is he gonna go again?
Well, I mean, game's over.
It's a 4-up for the next dodge, and then a 3-up.
I don't think it is physically possible.
Oh.
Now here's the question: does Ayli like pick up the ball and pass it and like do a punch? Like if I'm you, we know this. If it's me, I am surfing that son of a bitch.
Yeah, I think you surf him. Like, why not?
You go for the SPP
because it is a 1 in. It's not a. Okay, it's not a 1 in 9 you get knocked. It's a 1 in 9 you don't surf him. So you're good there, but KO.
And now you foul because there's 3 more seasons left to this league.
I don't think you need to.
Well, first you pass ball.
I think you just score.
Oh right, I forgot to like. That's the right side of it. I've kept getting mistaken on which side of it.
Oh my God. If this fails again. And it's gonna end 2-1.
Greedy. You got so unnecessarily greedy.
You were talking about fouling. You're being way greedier.
Well, I didn't.
All right, let's head down to the pitch.
Hey,
2 levels, nice.
Dang.
Congrats to both of your MVPs on actually getting a level for the first time in fucking history.
Wow, really?
Yeah, neither of them.
Amazon's got 6 of 6.
God damn it, it's the line woman.
Amada got 7 of 6.
I know you don't want to level your line women, but too bad.
I tried so hard to get the ball, like the whole time that like the ball was open, I was trying to like set up a play so I could give it to a blitzer and have her run it in so if she gets MVP, she levels.
They really need to make it easier to see why the heck one of your players is getting MVP. Because I swear to God, we've had players who've sat on the sidelines the entire game get MVP in a game.
What?
And I don't understand it.
The match just came through and confirmed, and Ayli's ahead of me.
Get good.
I'm gonna wreck you.
MeanGirls, ball possession 62%. Smite game, ball possession 18%.
Good game, dude. That was did not make that easy.
That was a nutty game to watch. Also,
63 blocks sustained by Smite game. Jesus
yes, Adam,
Christ.
do you want to... You remember earlier on in the broadcast where I said that Amazons brawl here, and you were like, I think that they screen too, and I was like, no, they brawl here, and you said...
No, I didn't say I think they screen too.
You do both almost everywhere you can.
I didn't say I think they screen too. I said that, like, the decision on how much... on which team is brawlier here. While it is, yes, it is the Amazons, it is not as large of a disparity as it is for a lot of matchups. That was the argument I was making. Was these are much closer on brawling than like.
I mean, level. So
kind of.
1,000 TV, yes. Leveled players, no.
Okay, fair.
I have 2 guard play. I get access to 4 guard players.
Yeah, there's a lot of guard on Amazon now.
Every time.
Yeah, Amazons are hitting out brawling everyone's stage. So
I need some more models for paint testing.
Okay. How are you both feeling? Was it fun? Was it exciting?
The first half was a lot of.
What did you say, Alex?
I'm chill.
You're
First
always
half was a
chill.
lot of fun. Second half, I felt dirty.
You should feel dirty.
I am playing Amazons after all.
Yeah, Amazon's is dirty.
Dirty.
Dirty. All right. I don't have anything else to say. That was an interesting match.
So
and
what
fun
are we
to watch?
so
Also, congrats on nearly making Hercules unplayable. He's 1 arbor value away from being useless.
I didn't want to injure him.
Okay, so I looked at it.
Okay, no, I wanted to badly hurt him. Okay, I didn't want to give him a stat damage.
I just
So I
love
looked
that
at-
we ended up with 2 deaths back to back, and both of them got away with it.
That was for Toxus.
I swear I thought that you were gonna roll your apothecary into dead again.
Oh, I did too. And honestly, the thought crossed my mind in this game. I'm like, I could for Toxus. You don't actually need catchers.
Yeah, the way your team is now, you don't really need catchers.
She's so much TV, dude. It's like, I could actually fire her, and then like 4 hours later she died, and I was like, well, okay.
Well,
So
how
I'm
much
looking
did
at
I
it,
lose?
and
Oh yeah,
so
she is.
I'm-
She's a lot of TV.
She's a
so if
lot.
I may, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the leaderboard. I don't think it's physically possible. Like I have 4 wins,
No,
and
you're
the person
good.
after me is 2 with a tie.
So we now have the final stand. We don't necessarily have the standings because we have 1 week left, but we have the final 4 that are going to go to the playoffs. MeanGirls, coached by Cavalry Wolfpack, as we just saw. St. Nikolai's Brigade, coached by me. Cleansing Light Knights, coached by Dylan, and Gurney, coached by Adam.
Coach by
So-
me. And can I just say one thing about Gurney? Because I don't think this has come up on any broadcast.
What?
It's named after the guy who did the Dinotopia series of books. Which are.
I don't think you've mentioned that since you made the team.
I mentioned it to you guys.
He mentioned it at the beginning.
Yeah, no,
But,
you have
I've
not
never
brought that up in forever.
I've never mentioned it on air, and they're really well written. They're they're aimed for children, but they're really well written. So they have their own secret language. And
I never
everything.
thought that I'd be sitting in for a Blood Bowl 2 broadcast when someone's plugging children's books.
Well, they also got a
You gotta
couple.
offset the
TV
violence
series.
somehow.
They also got a couple TV series that were really well made. I have them on box set.
Well, anyway, we're going to leave you with that food for thought on dinosaur movies to watch. And in addition, the knowledge that next week, because of the standings being finalized, we are going to watch the game that will be the most interesting to you in this final week, which is going to be 2 teams that have never won a game beating the crap out of each other.
So it's what? It's Durgle the Nurgle versus Wisconsin Devilbats?
Durgle the Nurgle versus Wisconsin Devilbats for Week 7 of Sunday Night Blood Bowl, and after that, we'll get back to the teams that did well this season. So thank you, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you next week, and from then, onward, playoffs. Have a good night. Thank you for watching. Eat the rat.
Eat the rat.
What?